Hello. Path of Wisdom. In old age, never choose this way to live. It's worse than death. Aging is a natural part of life, a journey that can be rich with wisdom, fulfillment, and joy. However, the choices we make in our later years can significantly impact the quality of this chapter. For older adults, there is one way of living that should be avoided at all costs: isolated, purposeless, and disengaged living. This path can strip away the essence of life, leaving individuals in a state of existence that feels worse than death. Let's explore why this happens and, more importantly, how to avoid it. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss an update. 1. The danger of isolation. Isolation is not just about being physically alone, it's the haunting feeling of being forgotten, invisible, or irrelevant in a world that moves forward without you. For older adults, this danger often creeps in subtly. It begins with small moments: friends moving away, loved ones passing, or children becoming engrossed in their own lives. Over time, these small fractures can grow into a deep chasm of loneliness that becomes nearly impossible to bridge. The pain of isolation isn't merely emotional. It manifests physically. Research has shown that chronic loneliness can have the same impact on health as smoking 15 cigarettes a day. It weakens the immune system, accelerates cognitive decline, and increases the risk of heart disease and stroke. Yet the true tragedy lies not in the medical consequences, but in the erosion of the human spirit. Without meaningful interactions, days lose their shape. There's no one to share stories with, no one to validate your existence. The joy of a kind word or a shared laugh is replaced by silence, and that silence can become deafening. It's not uncommon for those who live in isolation to begin questioning their purpose. Why am I still here if no one seems to notice? But isolation doesn't have to be a life sentence. Breaking free begins with a single act of courage: reaching out. Pick up the phone and call an old friend, even if years have passed. Attend a community gathering, even if it feels uncomfortable at first. These steps, however small, can create ripples of connection that grow into lifelines. Equally important is embracing the technology that often feels daunting. Learning to use video calls, social media, or even texting can bridge miles and reconnect you with loved ones. It's not just about staying in touch. It's about staying relevant in a world that is increasingly digital. Your voice, your stories, and your presence still matter, and the effort to connect is worth it. Moreover, consider joining groups or volunteering. Helping others can not only give you a sense of purpose, but also introduce you to people who value your contributions. Imagine the warmth of shared smiles at a soup kitchen or the laughter exchanged in a book club. These moments weave a fabric of connection that can wrap around you like a protective cloak, warding off the chill of loneliness. It's also crucial to recognize that isolation often feeds on pride. Asking for help or admitting loneliness is not a weakness. It's a strength. Telling your children or friends, "I miss hearing from you," opens the door for reconnection. Vulnerability creates intimacy, and intimacy dissolves isolation. In the end, life's richest moments are found in relationships. Whether it's a heartfelt conversation, a simple visit, or even a wave to a neighbor, these connections remind us that we are not alone. The antidote to isolation is effort. It's the conscious choice to stay engaged, to reach out, and to let others in. And when you make that choice, you reclaim not just your connections, but the vibrant, meaningful life that is still within your grasp. 2. The risk of neglecting physical health. Neglecting physical health in old age is like abandoning the foundation of a cherished home. Over time, small cracks ignored, aches, skipped doctor's visits, or unhealthy habits can weaken the structure, leading to challenges that could have been prevented. Yet, many older adults fall into the trap of believing that physical decline is inevitable, that aches and limitations are simply the cost of growing older. This belief, while common, is not entirely true. The risk of neglecting physical health is profound. Without care and attention, the body can become a source of frustration and limitation rather than a tool for experiencing life. Once simple pleasures, like walking through a park or playing with grandchildren, become burdens. The loss of mobility and independence often leads to emotional pain as feelings of helplessness and dependence overshadow the joys of daily living. But physical health, even in later years, is not a lost cause. The human body is remarkably resilient, capable of responding to even modest efforts to improve its condition. Simple actions like taking a daily walk, stretching in the morning, or participating in a gentle yoga class can have transformative effects. These activities are not about reversing the clock, but about preserving the freedom to move, to explore, and to enjoy life's moments without unnecessary pain. Nutrition plays an equally vital role. A diet rich in whole, nourishing foods provides the energy and strength needed to face each day with vitality. Eating well is not about restriction or sacrifice. It's about honoring your body, recognizing that it deserves care and respect for all it has carried you through. Taking control of physical health also means being proactive with medical care. Regular checkups, early intervention, and open communication with healthcare providers can prevent small issues from becoming major problems. Listen to your body. It speaks to you in subtle ways, urging you to act when something feels off. Prioritizing physical health is an act of self-love and empowerment. It is a declaration that you are not defined by your age, but by your actions and choices. By caring for your body, you preserve the ability to engage fully with the world, to participate in the activities that bring you joy, and to savor the time you have with the people you love. It is not about living forever. It is about living well with strength, dignity, and the freedom to embrace life on your own terms. 3. Losing a sense of purpose. The loss of purpose in old age is a quiet thief, robbing life of its spark and leaving behind a hollow existence. Purpose is what gives life meaning. It's the reason to get out of bed each morning, the thread that connects your days to a larger tapestry of fulfillment. Without it, life can feel like an endless series of empty moments where time moves forward but leaves you standing still. For many older adults, this loss begins after major life transitions, retiring from a long career, watching children grow and leave the home, or experiencing the passing of a spouse or close friends. These changes, while natural, can leave a person feeling unmoved, as though the roles that once defined them, the provider, the caretaker, the builder of dreams, no longer exist. Without these roles, it's easy to believe that your best days are behind you and that your presence no longer matters. But this couldn't be further from the truth. Purpose doesn't have to be tied to a job title or family role. It's something deeper, something that can evolve and grow as you do. Purpose is found in the connections you nurture, the passions you pursue, and the impact you make on the world around you. Even in the later years of life, purpose remains a guiding force. It just needs to be rediscovered. Rediscovering purpose often begins by looking inward. Reflect on what truly matters to you. Is it the joy of creating something with your hands, the satisfaction of helping others, or the desire to leave a legacy for future generations? These questions aren't just philosophical, they're pathways to action. Purpose doesn't need to be grand or earth-shattering. It can be as simple as tending a garden, teaching a grandchild how to bake, or volunteering at a local shelter. The key is finding something that brings you fulfillment and reminds you of your worth. Engaging with others is another powerful way to reignite a sense of purpose. Humans are wired for connection, and sharing your time, wisdom, and experiences with others can create bonds that enrich both your life and theirs. Mentoring a younger person, joining a group with shared interests, or even having regular coffee chats with a friend can remind you that you are still a vital part of the world around you. Your insights, shaped by decades of living, hold immense value. Don't underestimate the impact they can have on others. It's also important to set goals, no matter how small. Goals give your days structure and meaning, creating a sense of forward momentum. Whether it's learning to play an instrument, writing your memoirs, or planning a special trip, Having something to strive for fills life with anticipation and excitement. Goals remind you that life isn't just about what you've done, it's about what you're still capable of achieving. At its core, purpose is about staying engaged with life. It's about refusing to let the years behind you define the years ahead. When you embrace purpose, you embrace the idea that every day has potential, that there's always more to discover, more to contribute, and more to experience. Life doesn't end when careers are over or children leave the nest. It evolves, offering new opportunities to grow, learn, and give back. Purpose is what transforms mere existence into a meaningful journey. By finding what inspires you, connecting with others, and setting goals that bring joy, you reclaim the narrative of your life. You remind yourself and the world that you are not just surviving, you are thriving with a purpose that burns brightly, no matter your age. 4. The pitfall of financial mismanagement. Financial mismanagement in old age is not just about numbers, it's about security, freedom, and the dignity of living life on your own terms. Money, at its core, is a tool. It allows you to make choices, support your independence, and enjoy the fruits of a lifetime of effort. But when finances are neglected or poorly managed, they can become a source of stress, limiting your ability to live comfortably and confidently. The danger of financial instability is that it doesn't just affect your material well-being, it weighs on your emotional health. The constant worry about bills, medical expenses, or the fear of running out of savings can overshadow the joy of everyday life. It creates a cloud of uncertainty, making even small decisions feel overwhelming. For many, this strain leads to feelings of guilt or dependence on loved ones, adding an emotional burden that can feel impossible to escape. But financial stability, even in later life, is not out of reach. It begins with awareness. Take a clear and honest look at your financial situation, your income, expenses, debts, and assets. This process can feel intimidating, but it's the first step toward empowerment. Understanding where you stand allows you to create a roadmap for managing your resources wisely. Budgeting is not about restriction, it's about prioritizing. By identifying your needs and focusing on what truly matters, you can make your money work for you. Small changes like cutting unnecessary expenses or planning for future costs can create breathing room and restore a sense of control. It's also important to seek guidance. Financial advisors or trusted professionals can help you make the most of your resources, offering strategies for investments, savings, or navigating benefits like Social Security. They can protect you from the risks of scams or poor decisions, ensuring your financial well-being is safeguarded. Equally critical is setting boundaries with loved ones. Supporting family members can be a source of pride, but it should never come at the expense of your own security. Open conversations about your financial limits are acts of self-respect, ensuring that your needs are met while maintaining healthy relationships. Financial health is not about how much you have, it's about how you use it. It's about creating a life that reflects your values and provides you with the peace and freedom to enjoy what matters most. By taking control of your finances, you reclaim not just your stability, but also your confidence, knowing that you are living with dignity, purpose, and intention. 5. Letting relationships wither. The bonds we form with others are the threads that weave the fabric of our lives. In old age, these relationships take on an even deeper significance, providing comfort, connection, and a sense of belonging. Yet, as the years pass, it becomes all too easy to let the bonds fray. Distance, misunderstandings, or simply the passage of time can cause relationships to wither, leaving behind a quiet ache of loneliness and regret. Neglecting relationships doesn't happen all at once. It's a slow drift. A missed phone call, an unresolved argument, or an assumption that they'll understand creates small cracks that eventually grow into wide gaps. The tragedy is that the longer these gaps persist, the harder they become to bridge. The absence of connection can leave you feeling isolated, even in a crowded room, and the weight of lost opportunities can be a heavy burden to bear. But relationships, like gardens, can be nurtured back to life with care and intention. Start with small steps. Reach out to an old friend or family member you haven't spoken to in a while. Don't wait for the perfect moment or the right words. Just let them know you're thinking of them. Even a simple gesture, like sending a handwritten note or sharing a memory, can reopen doors that have been closed for too long. Rebuilding relationships also requires humility and courage. If there are unresolved conflicts or misunderstandings, take the first step toward resolution. Apologizing, forgiving, or simply listening with an open heart can resolve years of tension and bring healing. These acts of vulnerability may feel uncomfortable, but they are often the most powerful way to strengthen bonds. It's equally important to invest in the relationships that remain strong. Spend time with loved ones, even if it's as simple as sharing a meal or going for a walk together. Celebrate milestones, both big and small, and create new memories that will last a lifetime. Relationships are not just about the past. They're about the present moments that remind you of your value and the connections that make life meaningful. Letting relationships wither is a choice, but so is revitalizing them. By reaching out, forgiving, and staying present, you can transform what might feel like distance into closeness, regret into joy, and solitude into the warmth of human connection. 6. Fearing change and growth. Change is one of life's few constants, yet in old age it often feels like an unwelcome guest. The familiar routines and patterns that once brought comfort can begin to feel like walls, confining you to a life that is safe but stagnant. The fear of change is understandable. Adapting to new ways of living, thinking, or doing requires effort and courage. Yet, clinging too tightly to the past can lead to a life that feels small, disconnected, and unfulfilled. The fear of change often stems from uncertainty. Technology evolves, societal norms shift, and the world you once knew may seem unrecognizable. It's tempting to retreat into what's familiar, to resist learning new things or trying new experiences. But this resistance doesn't stop the world from changing. It only isolates you from it. The result is a sense of being left behind, a feeling that the world is moving forward while you remain stuck in place. Growth, however, is possible at any age. Embracing change doesn't mean abandoning who you are. It means expanding your horizons and finding new ways to engage with the world. Start by approaching change with curiosity instead of fear. If technology feels overwhelming, take a class or ask a younger family member to teach you. Learning how to use a smartphone, email, or social media can open doors to staying connected with loved ones and discovering new interests. Adapting to change also means letting go of rigid expectations. Life in your later years may not look the way you envisioned, but that doesn't mean it lacks potential. Be open to creating new traditions, exploring new hobbies, or meeting new people. Change often brings opportunities for growth, even when it feels uncomfortable at first. It's important to remember that growth isn't about perfection. It's about progress. Celebrate small victories like mastering a new skill or stepping out of your comfort zone. Each step forward, no matter how small, reinforces the idea that you are capable of adapting, learning, and thriving. Fearing change is natural, but letting that fear dictate your life is a choice. By embracing the unknown with an open heart and a willingness to grow, you can find joy, relevance, and connection in a world that's constantly evolving. Change isn't something to fear. It's an opportunity to discover new facets of yourself and continue living with purpose and vitality. 7. Ignoring mental health. Mental health in old age is often overlooked, hidden behind a curtain of stoicism and societal expectations. Many older adults come from a generation that values resilience, where emotional struggles were kept private and seeking help was often seen as a sign of weakness. Yet ignoring mental health is like ignoring a crack in a foundation. It may not be visible at first, but over time it can cause the entire structure to weaken and crumble. The mind is as vital to well-being as the body. Depression, anxiety, and feelings of isolation are common among older adults, particularly after life changes such as retirement, the loss of a loved one, or declining physical health. Left unaddressed, these emotions can darken even the brightest days, making life feel heavy and burdensome. The tragedy is not in experiencing these feelings, they are a natural part of life, but in believing that you must endure them alone. Acknowledging the importance of mental health is an act of courage. It begins with self-awareness, recognizing when you're feeling persistently sad, anxious, or unmotivated. These feelings are not signs of failure. They are signals from your mind that it needs care and attention. Speaking openly about these struggles with a trusted friend, family member, or mental health professional can be transformative. Sometimes, simply sharing your thoughts aloud can lift a weight you didn't realize you were carrying. Practicing self-compassion is equally important. Too often, older adults blame themselves for their emotions, telling themselves to just get over it or comparing their struggles to those of others. But mental health isn't a competition, and pain isn't something you must justify. Treat yourself with the same kindness you would offer a loved one. Engage in activities that bring you peace, whether it's meditating, journaling, or spending time in nature. Seeking professional help is not a sign of weakness, it's a commitment to yourself and your well-being. Therapists, counselors, and support groups can provide tools and strategies to help you navigate life's challenges. Medications, when necessary, can offer relief and balance, giving you the clarity to focus on what truly matters. Ignoring mental health doesn't just diminish the quality of your life. It can also strain relationships and hinder your ability to enjoy the time you have. By prioritizing your mental well-being, you give yourself the freedom to experience life fully, embracing its joys and weathering its storms with resilience and grace. Mental health is not an afterthought. It's the foundation upon which a meaningful life is built. 8. Choosing bitterness over gratitude. Bitterness is a thief that steals joy, tarnishes relationships, and clouds your view of the world. It often creeps in quietly, fueled by life's disappointments, regrets, or unfulfilled expectations. As the years pass, it's easy to dwell on what could have been, to focus on losses rather than blessings, and to let resentment take root in the heart. But choosing bitterness over gratitude is a path that leads to isolation and unhappiness, robbing you of the beauty still present in life. Bitterness often grows from unresolved pain. Perhaps it's the memory of a hurtful relationship, the career you didn't pursue, or the unfairness of a world that doesn't always reward kindness. These feelings are valid, but holding on to them is like drinking poison and expecting someone else to suffer. Bitterness doesn't change the past, it only weighs down the present, keeping you stuck in a cycle of negativity that can feel impossible to escape. Gratitude, on the other hand, is a powerful antidote. It doesn't erase pain or gloss over hardship, but it shifts your focus to what you have instead of what you've lost. Gratitude is a practice, a conscious choice to find the good in each day, no matter how small it might be. The warmth of the sun on your face, the laughter of a grandchild, or the comfort of a cherished memory. These moments, when recognized and appreciated, can bring light to even the darkest days. Choosing gratitude begins with letting go. Release the grip of past grievances, not for the sake of others, but for your own peace. Forgiveness doesn't mean forgetting or condoning. It means freeing yourself from the chains of resentment. When you forgive, you reclaim the energy that bitterness consumes and redirect it toward joy and connection. Practicing gratitude also means being present. Life is happening now, in the small, quiet moments that often go unnoticed. Savor them, write them down in a journal, or share them with a loved one. Gratitude grows when it is expressed, and the more you nurture it, the more it will fill your life. In choosing gratitude over bitterness, you transform your perspective. You open yourself to the possibility of joy, even in the face of adversity. You reconnect with the people and experiences that make life meaningful. Most importantly, you honor the life you've lived, not as a series of regrets, but as a journey filled with lessons, resilience, and countless moments of grace. Bitterness closes doors. Gratitude opens them, inviting in the light of hope, peace, and contentment. Embracing life's final chapter. Finding meaning, joy, and purpose in old age is a journey of reflection, resilience, and renewal. It is a chapter rich with the wisdom of years lived, filled with lessons learned and memories cherished. Yet it is also a time that demands courage, a willingness to confront the challenges of aging with grace, to let go of what no longer serves you, and to embrace what lies ahead. How you choose to live in these years will define their meaning and depth. The truth is, every day is a gift. The later years of life are not merely about surviving, they are about thriving in new and profound ways. They are about finding purpose in the quiet moments, strength in vulnerability, and joy in the connections that weave our lives together. They are about recognizing that even as the body changes and the world shifts, your presence continues to matter. The pitfalls of isolation, neglect, bitterness, or fear are not inevitable. They are choices that can be avoided with intention and effort. By prioritizing relationships, nurturing your physical and mental well-being, and opening your heart to gratitude, you can create a life that is fulfilling and deeply meaningful, no matter your age. This stage of life is not an end, but a continuation, a chance to rediscover passions, strength, and bonds, and leave a legacy of kindness, wisdom, and love. It is an opportunity to show the world and yourself that aging is not a diminishment of life, but a testament to its richness. Your story is still being written, and its final chapters can be among the most beautiful. As you move forward, remember this: the power to shape your life remains in your hands. Choose connection over isolation, purpose over passivity, and gratitude over regret. In doing so, you will not only honor the life you have lived, but also create a future filled with hope, dignity, and joy. After all, the best way to live is to live fully, with an open heart and an unwavering belief that every moment, no matter how small, holds the potential for greatness. These lessons are meant to inspire you to live fully and authentically. Now, I'd love to hear from you. Take a moment to reflect and share one thing you've learned and plan to apply in your own life. Let's support each other on this journey toward embracing these truths. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a comment with 1. If not, feel free to comment with 0. Your feedback means a lot to us. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more content like this. Thank you for watching, and here's to living life on your own terms.